Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Movie Mornings. I am your host, Tom Martino, and today we're going to talk about that new Moon Knight trailer. The Batman coming right around the corner. We got a new theme song. We got a runtime for it. We're going to get into all that. We have some exciting casting for the Ahsoka series that we're going to talk about. Lots and lots of fun stuff. I can't wait to get into all of it. But guys, before we get started today, please hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit the bell for notifications, would you? And also here with me today is Mr. Jose Espinel. Jose, how's it going, my guy?
Oh
And
my
you're gone. We had you. He's gone. Where'd he go, guys?
Oh, there I
Where'd
am.
he
There
go,
I am.
everybody. There he was. There he was.
Oh,
There he was. There's
oh,
his face.
Oh,
I
Jesus
don't
Christ,
know. I
man.
don't even know how to explain what you look like right now, but hey, we're gonna fix it. You guys are catching the behind the scenes glimpse, I suppose, at all this fun shit.
Oh,
He's
God.
coming in. He's coming in. He's coming in. He's coming in. We just had you fixed. I don't
I
understand.
know, it
This.
was weird.
Yeah, you look. I don't know how to explain what you look like right now. That's better. Okay, there we go. Hey,
There
Jose,
we go.
how are you?
Oh, hello. Hello. Yeah, no, I'm just excited to be here and I'm glad to get into all these fun topics that we have in store for you guys to talk about.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And yeah, me too. I really can't wait. Look, man, I mean, I'm going to start right off the bat here with this. Somebody needs to contact Jerry Seinfeld and tell him he needs to add a new character to his Pop-Tart film. Pop-Tart released a new flavor. I don't know if you saw this. I was very excited to see this.
I did not see that, no.
All right, you ready for this? It's the oh, there you are, gone again.
And,
Let me
yep,
fix
there
you.
we go.
Let me
Gosh
fix
darn
you.
it.
Well, all right. Well, that's fun, guys. It's fun, folks, when all this happens. This is
Oh, Jesus.
yeah,
Oh, I'm huge.
really not ideal, but not
Oh,
ideal.
gosh, I'm taking up the whole screen.
Not ideal at all. Okay, we're gonna fix Jose here, guys. I am so sorry for all of you who take the time out of your day to listen to this podcast and can't yeah, where are you? There you are. Okay, there we go. That's getting better.
So zoomed in, Jesus.
There we go. Getting there. Better. Okay. All right. So that'll do. Anyway, so yeah, Eggo Waffle Pop-Tart. I tried this thing. It's phenomenal.
You get Eggo waffle. What the?
I'm not.
You mean
kidding
Eggo?
you.
The Eggo waffle?
Eggo Waffle. That's what I said. What do you think I said?
They said like Iggle or something like that.
Eggo Waffle.
Eggo waffle. That sounds. You know what? That actually sounds pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
It's delicious. I don't know why you would actually buy the actual Eggo Waffle ever again. Because this Pop-Tart.
Because you got the Pop-Tart, yeah.
It tastes fantastic. I'm not kidding you. It's fantastic. So, I love it. I tried it. But yeah, I mean, I hope that Eggo Waffle Pop-Tart shows up in Jerry Seinfeld's Pop-Tart.
I might have to go buy this thing next time I'm at Publix.
Yeah. I just got you centered, and you're moving all over the place.
All right, I need to fix myself. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Thank you. But yeah, so he, yeah, I don't know, man. It tastes good. So
that's good to hear, though.
I was loving it. I don't know. You a Pop-Tart guy?
I love, bro. Cookies and cream is my favorite flavor.
Cookies and cream's your go-to.
I love cookies like that. When I was a kid, that was like the flavor that I'd always get.
Have you had the Fruit Loop one?
No, I actually have not.
Phenomenal. I like
the one,
Fruit Loop
you know what? The snacks that I've had the most exotic flavors for is Oreos. I've had
There's so many now, I can't keep up.
I've had the birthday cake batter one.
I did try that one.
I've had the all those other like exotic flavors that they have out there. I've had like almost every single one.
I think the birthday cake is too rich.
It's like too sugary. Honestly.
That's like most birthday cake flavored things. I think even Pop-Tart has one.
Although birthday cake batter ice cream is actually pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. That's actually like
I do like that.
I was pleasantly surprised with that.
I do like that one. That one I won't lie. You're right. I'll give you that because I do like the batter ice cream.
No, I think my favorite exotic flavor for any snack in the world has to be the chicken and waffle Lay's potato chips.
That is good.
That limited time flavor that they came out with. I was like obsessed. I bought so many bags before they like went out of, obviously since they're limited time. I like try to buy as many bags as I could to have as as many of them as possible. That was really good though. I
Yeah,
miss those. I miss those so much. I wish they could make them an actual flavor.
I
Because
I did like those. Did you try the cheeseburger Doritos when those were a thing?
I did actually.
Those
Yeah,
were so good. You could taste like
they were.
everything on the cheeseburger in one chip. It
Honestly,
was
yeah,
incredible.
it was so good.
Yeah, it reminded me of the gobstopper, in Willy Wonka, where they
Ooh,
would put it in their
yeah,
mouth and they could taste like
yeah,
everything. You could decipher like all the flavors. That's what
yeah.
the cheeseburger chip was like, because
Yeah,
you
they
could
were
just
really good. Honestly, yeah.
decipher all the damn flavors. So it was awesome. Did you? So I watched a movie. It's on HBO Max. You should check it out on your own time if you ever get the chance. But
Okay.
so it's from the director. It's Yoda. Frank Oz directed this movie. It's who directed What About Bob? And it's called Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Really good. It's Steve
Oh, I've heard,
Martin and Michael Caine.
I've heard of that one before.
And the whole movie, they're con men.
I
And
think I definitely heard of it. I don't think I've ever seen it though.
it's good, man. It's good. It was I had never seen it. Yeah, it was interesting. I had never seen that one. But really good movie. I mean, they're con
Yeah.
men, and basically what happens is, so Steve Martin ends up, so he meets Michael Caine is a con man, but he meets Steve Martin on a train. And
Okay.
Steve Martin's gonna go, he's gonna go to Beaumont, I think it is, where Michael Caine lives, but that's like Michael Caine's territory to con people. So he goes, like, they con women mostly too. But Michael Caine cons people in Beaumont. And so he doesn't want Steve Martin getting off the train to Beaumont to start conning people too, because he finds out Steve Martin's a con man, because he
Mm,
cons this woman on this train, and Michael Caine overhears it and sees it. So Michael Caine like brings in this woman onto the train to keep Steve Martin on the train, but Steve Martin ends up in Beaumont anyway. And basically Steve Martin ends up finding that, well, Michael Caine plays this whole con on him where he gets like arrested. He gets Steve Martin arrested. It's funny.
I
But
don't know
then,
why that movie reminds me so much of The Hustle with Rebel Wilson and Anne Hathaway in a bit, like kind
I
of.
heard about it. I didn't watch it.
Because they're
Never heard
both,
anything
because in
good,
that
but
in that movie they're both con women, they con men
oh,
that usually are rich and
it's
are kind of like involved in some like illegal shit, instead like con men, and
probably a
like
loose remake.
they like basically just don't want each other, like they don't want to be in the same place. Like Anne Hathaway wants Rebel to like leave, but
Exactly.
she also teaches her in the ways of conning,
Right. Well, yeah,
and
that's what this is.
and then
So
they become
it's a loose
friends
remake.
at the end.
So they
become
loosely
friends in
remade
the
it.
end.
Yeah, they loosely
Yeah.
remade it then. That's what this movie is, but probably better. Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah.
this one is like, yeah, that's basically it. So Michael Caine teaches Steve Martin, and Steve Martin, but he's teaching him to get him out of town. That's the whole reason. Because he ends up, bringing him into all these schemes, and he ends up not even like paying him a cut of the money.
That's bro. That was
hustle.
literally
Yeah.
that's the
So,
hustle. Yeah.
So they just like loosely remade Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. That's
Exactly. Yeah.
No
They
wonder
made a
nobody liked it.
What they did is they did a female version of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
So no wonder nobody liked the
I mean,
Hustle movie.
I did, but
yeah. But
I just find it because Rebel Wilson is just really funny, and she was really funny.
I like her. I like Anne Hathaway too. She's a good actress, but
She was good in that. She was good in that movie too.
You're one of few, sir. You're one of few. I didn't watch it, but you're one of few. Yeah, but yeah, man. I mean, it's no, I mean, this one was really good. I do recommend checking it out. You'll predict the whole thing though, because this other one sounds just like it. So you'll probably predict the entire thing. So
I mean,
yeah.
From what I've heard, it sounds like this was exactly like The Hustle. So
I mean, this one's really well made.
But you know what I did?
But
you know what I do? You know what I did watch today? I watched the Harry Potter 20th anniversary
finally
special on
did you like it?
HBO Max. Yeah,
I loved it,
bro. It had me in tears at
too.
at the end, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, when like Emma Watson and like Daniel Radcliffe and all them were like in tears, like remembering all the like really good actors, the older ones that aren't here anymore.
Yeah,
like when they like were saying how I'm very blessed and lucky to have been on the same stage as them and all that. Like that's when I started getting into tears, man. It was really good.
I loved watching Daniel Radcliffe. I won't give it away for the folks who haven't seen it yet, but like the conversation though between Gary Oldman and Daniel Radcliffe. You just got this older generation actor with the younger generation actor. You could just tell Well, first of all, how much Daniel Radcliffe does look up and respect Gary Oldman, but like how much knowledge Gary Oldman passed on to Daniel Radcliffe as an actor, but also like the mutual respect that they give each other. It's just awesome, and like I think that translated into the movies really well. But that was one of my favorite aspects, is just kind of seeing the older generation mesh with this younger generation, in which this younger generation had taken so much from, and learned so much from.
Right.
It shows why these movies work. There was a mutual respect between the older generation and the younger generation of actors, and that really worked. Although I think at one point Daniel Radcliffe like admitted, like, when we were like the first two, we didn't really have respect for any adult, because like, yeah.
I mean, they're also like 8 years old. They were
Exactly.
kids.
They don't know what it
Like,
means, like, big actor. But then like, I think he even said something like when Gary Oldman came into play, that was when he realized in the third movie, like, oh, we need to buckle down. And well, really, I think a lot of it was like Alfonso Cuarón coming in to direct it too, the third movie. And he, because let's be real, I said this from the beginning. Alfonso Cuarón, when he came into the Harry Potter franchise, if there's one credit I'll give him, I mean, on top of making a great movie, he when he made Prisoner of Azkaban, he the one thing he added is he turned those kids into actors. Like that was, I think, his touch, is he made those kids like professional actors. He just gave them the right direction, because you watch the first two, the acting from the kids, it's there, but it's wonky.
I mean, yeah, because
Yeah,
they're kids, so it's like, you can only expect so much from
yeah,
kid. Like I go through and watch again the first two movies, I kind of cringe a bit because they are kid actors and they're acting.
and they're kids
Obviously,
movies. They're
it's
kids movies.
their acting isn't the best,
Yeah.
obviously, because they're kids. But like, I look back at those, like the first two, and it's pretty cringe. But then as you go down the movies, obviously because they're getting older, their acting actually like becomes so much better, and it's
Yeah.
actually like you can see like the raw emotion
The
that they can portray in the films.
the first two movies are kids movies. That's the other thing about it. And like, that's not a slight to Chris Columbus's direction on those first two either, because I mean, he
No,
made those
if
movies what they
anything,
were supposed to be.
I
Yeah.
mean, if anything, that it's props to him for being able to keep kids
Yeah.
in control and have them actually, act in this movie. Like, because with most kids, they'll probably just be like off diddly daddling, doing God knows what, not actually focusing on doing the movie and actually acting. But he was actually able to. He was like a dad to them. He was control. He was able to control them and actually keep them like in line.
And they said as much. They were like, I don't know where he got the patience when he did those first two.
Yeah, because Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson them were saying that like they would like shoot a scene and then they'd like go and like start like messing around and
Yeah.
doing whatever, but he was still able to just keep them, in line and finish the movie, obviously, which
Yeah.
they said it took a while because their attention span
Yeah. Yeah.
is very short because I mean they are kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But
and thank God for somebody like Alfonso Cuarón, who came in to, he turned them into professional actors. And everything just kind of happened, I think. From what I got out of this whole thing was like everything kind of happened as it was supposed to. Like, the first two movies were kids' movies, and Chris Columbus made them as such. He was hired to do that, and then Alfonso was coming into the third movie to make it a little bit darker. You know what I mean? But also like, make this a little bit more coming of age, in the sense that they're becoming teenagers, and that's what turned them into professional actors. And then you got Mike Newell, which was a story I was really intrigued by, because that guy seems like he was I mean, in a good way though, like a nut. Like he and Goblet of Fire, we did the re-ranking back when we were doing the Dom's Corner podcast. Me, Sammy, and Adam all went through them, and we did the re-ranking. And Goblet of Fire, while it does rank a little bit lower on my list now, I do have to give it props for like trying to make the horror film a little bit more. Like it definitely, like, it went full on dark, and just like there was no limits to what Mike Newell came in to do, and I think he was nuts in the best way possible. Also, it's just a great setup for the next four films.
I was gonna say
After
because
it.
David Yates came in and he blew me away. Like his
Oh
four,
yeah,
those,
David Yates made the
those
best
four
ones.
movies, yeah, those four movies he made were the four best Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
Honestly, he just came in and what he did with the cast was just phenomenal. Honestly, it was incredible.
Yeah.
They just blew me away. Honestly, with those four movies, like
Yeah.
to see their progress and where how far they've come, and to have David Yates, someone like him come in and and have them perform, the way they did, and his directional skills as well throughout
Yeah.
those four films is just incredible, especially in the last two. Well, in Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, those two movies were just phenomenal. Honestly, the stuff with
Part
Harry
one's
Potter,
my favorite one.
yeah, same. The stuff with Daniel Radcliffe and Phineas was just so incredible stuff. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Well, they said though they were going into the Deathly Hallows part one stuff, like it felt like we were making cinema at that point. Like it felt like we were making something
I mean,
extremely
yeah, they were old,
cinematic.
and the actors were old enough at that point to where you can make like actual cinema at that point.
It's a character study more so than it was a Harry Potter movie, the Deathly Hallows part one. And they're right. I mean, they said it, and it really is like a character study. So like to me, that was one of the standout things about it. And like when they were saying that they wanted to make it like a character study and a little bit more, it is a lot more just grounded and kind of down to earth. And that's why I think it is why it's my favorite overall. And then my second favorite is definitely Order of the Phoenix, and I think right under that Azkaban, and then like probably under that Deathly Hallows Part 2. So and I
Yeah,
love they're all, it's
I
a
was
great finale.
I was gonna say mine's the same. Just switch the prisoner in Order of Phoenix for me.
Honestly, Prisoner of Azkaban used to be way below for me. Like it used to be my least favorite Potter
Really,
film.
it used to always be up there for me. Honestly, like
I know
I
for
love
everybody.
I still love that film to this day.
It's
Honestly,
most people's favorite is Azkaban, and for me, like I didn't think it would be up so high on my list. And then we did the rewatch, and it just kind of stood. With every time we'd get to the next one, it's like, oh man, Azkaban still kind of stands above it. Well, as far as Goblet of Fire, then they got to Order of Phoenix, and it was like, okay, Order of Phoenix kind of went above Azkaban, and then Half Blood Prince I put under Azkaban for sure. And
yeah.
then when we
And
got
I'm putting the first two like at the bottom. No, I mean it's no offense to Chris Columbus. It's just I don't know. I just watching them now over again. I understand that they're kid movies, but I just did the cringe in those movies.
I
Honestly,
thought that would have been the case when we did the rewatch too. But the interesting part is I actually like Sorcerer's Stone now more than I like Goblet of Fire and Chamber of Secrets. Like Chamber of Secrets was the lowest, but Sorcerer's Stone like actually went above Goblet of Fire for me. It actually boosted this last time around. Whether that be because of nostalgia or what, I don't know. But I just thought it was like I guess I was ranking it on the merit of the fact that it's like it is a kids movie, and like for a kids movie, Sorcerer's Stone is really solid. It's a really solid family film. Like
what's funny is they were actually Daniel Radcliffe, when he was talking to Chris Columbus, he was mentioning how like it was a kids film up until
he did say that.
he did the burning of the guy's face.
Yeah. Yeah, then you get around to that. And like I think it really is that third act is the moment to me that made it rank above Goblet and Chamber, at least, because when you get to the third act of the movie, it's really, really intense for like something that kids are doing. You know what I mean? Like if you look at it as a kids movie, you don't anymore by the time you get to the third act, because at that point you're like, whoa, it was just like this boost.
Right.
And then Chamber of Secrets, and this was awesome because I said the same thing when I did the review for Chamber, and I think it was 100% like true. When Columbus said, I did the first movie and it was a hit, so it felt like the pressure was off on Chamber of Secrets, and it felt like I could just kind of play. And
Yeah,
if
he
you
could,
watch
yeah,
Chamber of Secrets,
exactly.
it really feels like that. It feels like Chris Columbus just kind of messing around and trying new things, which is great for a director. It made it my least favorite Harry Potter film, unfortunately, because it does feel like it has the least amount of structure to me. But on this, just looking at it from the filmmaker's perspective, he had to have a blast just being able to kind of experiment. He kind of had the freedom to do so. And that's the only way you really grow as a director, is to try new things. And he definitely did
Right.
as a filmmaker. And so I respect Chamber of Secrets a lot more for that. But like on the same hand, viewing wise, it's my least favorite. But I respect it a hell of a lot because it boosted Christopher Columbus to a new level of directing, because he really did get to mess around and stuff, and so like that had to be a lot of fun for him, and like to make the extended cut, it was at least 3 hours long of Chamber, and it's just really interesting to see him kind of try all these new things. And I mean, when I saw Chamber of Secrets, it was one of my favorites in the theater, but then it just and somehow ended up being my least favorite upon the rewatch. And so
I'm actually trying to think if I actually ever watched any of the Harry Potter films in theaters.
mm, I saw
Probably,
them all.
probably the newer ones because, um, I don't know. I just think Harry Potter wasn't something that really interested me at first. Um, I don't know. I just didn't really get it.
Yeah.
I guess it's because I was such a big Star Wars fan. I don't know. Just Harry Potter just didn't really pique my interest. But
You'd be hard pressed. It's interesting because I always go back and talk about Star Wars being like A New Hope is the first movie I remember watching, and that's 100% true. Which is why I think Star Wars has just ended up standing the test of time for myself today. But when Harry Potter was like in the zeitgeist and like coming out, you'd have been hard pressed to get me to say I'm a bigger Star Wars fan at the time. I'll be 100% real about that because
yeah, not with me.
like, yeah, because when it was like, not that I wasn't a Star Wars fan or ever would have said I hated Star Wars. That was never the case. It just was like, for me, like when Harry Potter was in the zeitgeist and like the thing, it like, I dove into it. And, that was really interesting. You talking about seeing them in theaters because Sammy, for example, probably a bigger Potterhead than I am. She definitely knows a lot more about it than I do and like knows the lore a lot better. That's like her Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like what Star Wars is to us, Harry Potter is to Sammy. So, not that she's not a Star Wars fan too, but what was really interesting is when we were doing the rewatches, she told us about Half-Blood Prince was her first one in the theater. And I was like, whoa, because you wouldn't think so, just, seeing how big of a Potterhead she actually is.
Right.
But it's interesting. But I did see them all in the theater because, like, the Sorcerer's Stone, I mean, I went to, when I saw Sorcerer's Stone, I mean, I probably didn't see it opening night at the time, but I definitely, when it was becoming this big phenomenon, I definitely went, pretty early on. And that was really just my first introduction to, like, something that, like, just swept pop. Well, that's not true entirely because I saw Star Wars before that, but, like, Phantom Menace. But on the same hand, that was my first experience, like, of something that, like, I guess that I can remember forever, because like with Phantom Menace, the thing with that one was, when I saw Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, it was more like I can remember the feeling I had in the theater, but I don't actually remember watching it in the theater. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember sitting down and viewing it. I just remember like going in there and having a new feeling. But I don't remember like what it was like to see it almost. Like I don't remember my emotions toward Phantom Menace at the time. When Harry Potter came out, like I can remember my emotions toward it. I remember who I was with. You know what I mean? So, so that was my first time experiencing something massive like that, where I can remember like who I was with and what it was like to watch it for the first time, and what it was like to be blown away by a children's movie or something big like that entered the pop culture zeitgeist. And Harry Potter also has its own feel to it. Like you go in to see a Harry Potter movie, even these bad Fantastic Beasts movies. Well, the first Fantastic Beasts is good. I don't like this last one so much, but like even this last bad Fantastic Beasts movie, I liked going to see it. Like there is something different in the room. It's very much like Star Wars in that sense, where there is something different. It has its own like set of fans, its own culture, its own. It's interesting. David Yates, though, let me bring up a point. Like going back to him,
That dude, man, he's
a master. I mean, really,
oh yeah.
at this, and like he stayed on for a good reason. Now I'm baffled that he's sticking around though, because I really want somebody new in this Fantastic Beasts franchise. I need a new director.
Did he do both of them?
Yeah, and like I think it's time to switch it up. Like I'm going to put my faith in him for this third movie. I hope this third Fantastic Beast turns out awesome.
Well, I mean, he's 1 for 2 right now.
He is 1 for 2, so that's good. Because I do like the first one, the first Fantastic Beast. I mean, granted, I mean, I'm not saying he can't make a great third one. Everybody has a bad day at the office, and Fantastic Beasts 2 was David Yates' bad day at the office. I mean, I really think so. It just, that movie was a mess, sloppy. But the executives at Warner Brothers, they're on the phone with the main three right now, trying to get them in a series or a movie or something after this.
Oh yeah, the
reunion.
Cursed Child.
Who knows? Something.
That's the last reported title, but who knows? It could change.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, look. I mean, the Cursed Child is something that a lot of look. There are some fans that really like the Cursed Child and all that, but like, well, you talk to a lot of hardcore Harry Potter fans. They're not really into the Cursed Child. I don't know what they'll do, because they don't want the Cursed Child to get adapted to screen. There's a lot of like hardcore fans that really don't like the Cursed Child. Talk to Sammy. I think she'd be pretty upset if that's the thing they adapt, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I don't think they'll do it, Cursed Child, but I do think there is a future for them, in a movie or a show. You know, Warner Brothers is
obviously,
making
like
a show,
all,
so
all them as parents, obviously, is
yeah,
what's gonna be next. Harry with Jenny, Hermione with Ron, and
of course
wasn't Draco with someone too at the end?
he
Of
was.
Deathly
He
Hallows
was.
Part Two.
I don't remember,
Was he with
but Sammy
was
would
he
know.
with Luna something?
I don't think so. I don't think he did end up with Luna Lovegood. I don't remember who he was with, but it wasn't her. But we did see him with a.
Yeah, so he was with someone. I can't remember who.
I don't know that she was ever like a big part of the movies. Whoever he ended up with, but neither here nor there. The thing that
He was also really good as Draco.
Oh yeah, no, I like Tom Felton as Draco Malfoy. He's very good. Very good actor in general, but you know, I would like to see in general, I think if you're gonna do a series, I think do it between the time of the books and the Cursed Child, before they become parents, because I don't know that everybody wants to see them walking around in those old prosthetics. Personally, like I think you do it before they're even parents, and create some type of a story maybe there. Some other like Hogwarts adventure. I don't know. That's my thinking on it. But
her character's name's Astoria Greengrass.
thank you. Yeah, there you go. I did read the books, so I knew it. It's just
see that's what I was gonna say. Is that I guess that's another reason why I'm just not. I didn't even really enjoy reading the books, because I remember in high school, I think was it, or middle school, one of the two, our libraries had those books that like ran out. They just never like piqued my interest, honestly. But you know,
the first book, I think Sorcerer's Stone's still one of the best books I've ever read in general.
I remember in the HBO Max 20-year anniversary thing, they were saying how like books were flying off the shelves for because they announced the movie for that book. Kids started buying those books like crazy.
Yeah, and I was a part of it. I mean, they were great books, and in my opinion, and I mean, the Sorcerer's Stone, like I said, one of the best books I've ever read till this day. I would still go back and read it. It's
the British version, Philosopher's Stone.
Right. Only read Sorcerers. I never read the British, but I did have the DVD set for Philosophers, because the British title was Philosophers. So
right.
I did have that. I just had to own it at the time, and still don't know what happened to it, but I wish I still owned it. But yeah, it was something I special ordered for myself. It was just cool to own the Philosopher's Stone on top of the
the British version.
Yeah, but those DVD sets when they were coming out, those were cool as fuck. The first two movies, they had like they were like these awesome box sets. They were great when they put them out.
I was because my sister has all 8 movies in DVD. She's got like one big box that's got all 8 DVDs in it. And she got that for one of her. So my grandma from my mom's side, who buys my sister and I loads of like stuff that we want. Like she's the one that buys me custom soccer jerseys. She bought me for my birthday one year those original 6 Star Wars movies DVD box set, and then she also got my sister for one of her birthdays the box set of the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, so I have all the I have them on Steelbook. I have the Steelbooks right now, which I love having. I love owning, and those came with the extended editions of 1 and 2. So that was that's something worth having. The extended cuts are the better cuts of 1 and 2 for sure. They're not much better, but they are better. They do improve upon them, and they're a little bit more book accurate.
It seems like it's extended cuts are always the better versions of the originals.
It depends. I mean, you know, there's times where extended cuts, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I know I've watched an extended cut that I was like, I was not on board for that. Or like a director's cut where I was like, I like the original better. There's been times where that's happened too. But yeah, man. Look, no, but it's great. That reunion special is absolutely.
Oh my goodness,
phenomenal.
Bro! It was incredible to just even like not a big Harry Potter fan myself. Just basically sitting down with them and just going through their memories. All the memories
Yeah,
that they've been
it's
through
cool,
together
man.
was really
HBO
cool.
Max does a bang up job on those reunions that they do. They really have, and the Friends, the Bel Air one, and
Still haven't seen the Friends reunion one.
yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel Air was great too. I
I
mean,
wanted
those
to,
are both really good.
I wanted to watch the Friends one, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
It's so good. I mean, it really is. I think they've gotten better with each one. Honestly, I liked them all.
This Harry Potter one was incredible.
They really put in the extra work for this one. Even on top, and as much as the other two were great, this one had the extra work going for it. I mean, just it was cool. It was cool. Big production. They made a production out of it. It was great to see. Yeah, they've done a bang up job. I can't wait to see what they do next. For
what's really old as hell that you can do a reunion for?
that's a good question. I would think. I don't know.
Himium.
See, all this stuff is being rebooted though. Anyway, so it's like you don't even need the reunion.
You see they rebooted How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah, you could do one of those. That would be cool. But
yeah, but they made a How I Met Your Father.
Yeah, Hillary Duff.
They did I'm like why?
Well, the trailer doesn't look good.
I was about to say, that's what I mean. Like, why?
It's a good idea if it works. Anything's a good idea if it works. Anything could be good. It's just you need it to be good.
You know what should have done? They should have done it the other way. They should have done it from her perspective. His wife. How I Met Your Father. They should have done it from her perspective, and then basically end it the same. Like end it with like him at the end, and just like to see like all her friends and how her life was.
And I don't mind new characters either. Like either way could work. You just got to make it good. Of course, I haven't watched the show. I just seen the trailer, and the jokes were incredibly unfunny.
I haven't even seen. I've seen like bits and pieces of clips from like YouTube, and it just seems.
It seems incredibly unfunny.
It just doesn't look funny or fun or entertaining, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
you could do a How I Met Your Mother one next. Honestly, that'd be a cool one to see.
Yeah, like a reunion would be great, honestly, and just
that's my favorite show of all time, honestly.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's one I've seen like 7-8 times through. Honestly,
I think if the last season was better, I would put it higher on the list.
I never like anytime I rewatch it, I'm always like, yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy myself with this. Like every time I watch it through, it's always so much fun.
It's got iconic moments too. I mean, it's a great show for sure. It's got some of the most iconic moments.
Star Wars, mentions in there, which obviously, incredible. The Stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I had a great time with How I Met Your Mother. And season 8 came around. I remember season 8 being like one of the best ones. It was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be really great. And then you get to season 9 and the whole thing takes place at Barney's wedding. You're like, what? It's like,
I quite enjoyed it.
Honestly. I did not. I mean, like you could have used so much of that time to flesh out your finale better, because
I like seeing,
Ralph
Macchio and
oh sure, that was fun, but like I
forget the other guy's name.
It's just when you have this finale that feels so crammed together, it's like, why didn't you use the rest of your season where we were wasting time to flesh it out? Like I like the events that happened in the last episode. It's not that I'm not upset about that at all. I actually think it made a lot of sense where all the storylines ended up. It just felt so crammed and rushed, and it was like, wow, we had a whole season to flesh it out and it didn't work. So that was my opinion of it. I wish that they would have fleshed it out a lot better at the end. Season 9 to me felt like a waste of time. It really did. But I don't know, man. It's one I would like to see a reunion of, even with that.
100%, honestly, same. Because, like I said, it's my one of, if not probably my favorite show of all time, honestly, because it's just so iconic, and I just like it so much. I would love to see a reunion of all those.
Yeah, definitely one I would revisit too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not disappointed with the entirety of it.
Revisited it because there's just so many moments too in there that make me cry.
Oh yeah, me too. It was a great run. I mean, for the most part, the overall entirety of the show is phenomenal. I'm not trying to take that away. Like, I'm not saying because they had one bad season to me, like it,
I mean, yeah, bad, I wouldn't lie to you. Season 9 wasn't my favorite either, but like, it's still, doesn't
Yeah,
make it doesn't make me like hate the show or anything. It's still one of my favorites,
yeah,
if
it's
not
a
favorite of
great
all
show.
time.
It's a
Yeah,
great, phenomenal show. I would rewatch it almost any day.
same.
Fantastic. It's fantastic.
If I didn't have
Um,
anything else to watch, I would rewatch it. I
yeah,
just got
it's
so
just
much to watch right now.
you know what it was for me. It was like these are. You look at the first 8 seasons; it's some of the best writing ever. It really is.
100%.
In half-hour sitcom television, it is some of the best writing. All the twists and turns and stuff. And then, like, I just could not believe like how they didn't know how to flesh out that ending. It felt like a network interference, you know. Like I really felt like CBS interfered with season 9 and was like, we just need to keep it funny all the time. And like you could have used season 9 to be your like most dramatic season and then really end with a bang. Not that you would have no jokes, because even the finale itself, which was very dramatic, had a lot of jokes. You know, it was just like, why not use the time, you know, to make it feel natural rather than cramming in all these things, you know? Because like
Right.
you hear about like red flag number 1, and again, I don't mind it happening, was like Barney and Robin's divorce. I don't mind them getting divorced as a story point. What I mind is the fact that it just gets dropped in there like a bomb. You know, it's not the fact that it happened, it's the fact that it gets dropped in there like a bomb. Then Barney has a child. I don't mind that. I love that for him. I thought that was a great character arc for Barney, but it was the fact that it got dropped in there like a bomb. Like everything was like a bomb, you know, it's just getting
Yeah,
dropped in.
true.
Rather than fleshing it out and we can have a real natural progression with all these great storylines, because there's like 100 new storylines being placed into one episode, even though it's a 2-hour episode or whatever at the end. It's like all these great storylines just being crammed in. It's like, man, you had a whole season. You didn't need to be at Barney's wedding for the whole thing. You know, you didn't. I mean, like, just saying, you didn't have to be there, but it is what it is. It's over. It's water under the bridge. You know what I mean? And it's still one of, again, overall one of my favorite shows overall in the entirety of it. I love it, but just that last season I can go on and on all day about how to flesh it out better, do it better, and create it better, just from a storytelling standpoint. And it just baffled me that some of the greatest writers I've seen working in television didn't do that. it blew my mind, but look, man, let's talk about Batman, because
Ooh,
the Batman is upon us. It's coming right around the corner, man, in March.
the bat is coming.
Yeah, and so far, we've been very blessed. Has not been pushed. Let's pray to God, you know, this stays on this path, because, look, man, Spider-Man was a big deal. Now that's over. Let's look forward to the next, what I consider to be probably the next event film is the Batman. I mean, I think you would probably agree this is going to be the next big event movie, and like
Yeah,
mean,
especially because it's a new Batman, someone new. Oh, something happened.
yep.
Oops.
Get your video
Oh,
back
there you go. Yeah,
Okay.
it's back. It's back. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, it's someone new coming play Batman. You know, it's Robert Pattinson, which I'm super excited to see play Batman, especially from the trailers. At first, I was skeptical because obviously the only thing I'd really ever seen him play was a blood-sucking, love-seeking vampire from a chick flick.
You mean prior to this movie?
Yeah, I hadn't really seen him in anything else.
Oh, dude, you're missing out. He's a
That's what I mean,
phenomenal
and
actor.
I've heard from you know, a couple other people that he's like actually like really good in the other stuff
Yeah.
that he's been in. But you know, I hadn't seen any other stuff that he was in, so all I had known him from was Twilight, and so I was kind of skeptical of him being, you know, Batman. But after seeing the trailer, I'm like, yeah, I'm actually so excited to see him take on this role.
He's
I'm hoping it's
becoming. Oh, go ahead.
I'm,
Sorry,
ho-
you had
I
more.
am hoping it's better. I guess obviously it's not Ben Affleck's fault, but I didn't like his Batman, except
I
upon
love Ben
rewatching
Affleck.
in the Snyder cut of Justice League. Upon watching that, uh, I liked his Batman a little more. I think it's because, you know, there was maybe problems or something with I don't know about, like, I don't know if it's like the people who were involved with, like, you know, behind the cameras or whatever, but they just didn't, I didn't think they did Batman justice. Justice. Um when Ben Affleck was playing him, but I'm just hoping that it's better than his performances in the original Batman v Superman and Justice League, and all those movies that he played as Batman. I'm just hoping it's better than that, and I really think that it will be because the trailer is just he looks so badass, and he's really like he's really showing the true Batman that I know and enjoyed watching.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on a lot of your points. Not necessarily on the Ben Affleck overall, because I thought he was great in both of his outings. As well, okay, let me take that back. Loved him in Batman v Superman. Not so much in the theatrical Justice League, but redemption in the Snyder Cut Justice League for me. Like it
Yeah, I guess I'll say it's not that I didn't like him in the Batman v Superman. I just didn't like the movie overall because it wasn't Batman. It wasn't Batman.
Version stinks.
Yeah, no, theatrical, because it wasn't Batman versus Superman, but it was Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman versus Doomsday. Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, the title didn't live up to what actually happened in the movie. So
it is called Dawn of Justice. Well, that's not even the Snyder. That's not Snyder's fault either, though, because I mean, you look at
that's what I mean, and that's what I mean. It's not his fault, and it's not Ben Affleck's fault. It's just the movie.
No, the studio was like, we want to make money, call it Batman v Superman, and so it was like, but
I don't know what the hell they were thinking with Justice League either, because that theatrical version was cheeks.
If you just called the movie Dawn of Justice, it probably would have done better.
It would have done 100%, because you're not clickbaiting people, as you say on YouTube. You're not clickbaiting people for this like long big Batman versus Superman fight. You just get like 10 minutes of Batman of Superman kind of beating him up, and then Batman just pussying out and throwing kryptonite gas at him for like 10 minutes straight, and then they
wait
become
a minute though. Hold on though, real quick. Okay, outside of your point of how quick the fight was, okay, because it was quick. I understand where you're coming from there. So
bro, it was like a 2-hour movie, and we got like 10 minutes of them fighting.
I understand where you're coming from on that. So
then they become friends, and then Wonder Woman comes and helps them fight this big ass bad guy monster that Lex Luthor made. Come on now, don't call it Batman versus Superman if you're gonna just have them fight for 10 minutes and then become friends.
It's a good setup for the Justice League, but
just call it Dawn of Justice at least. No, don't clickbait people with a whole.
That's
Batman
what it is. It's the Dawn of the Justice League.
Exactly. So, don't name it Batman versus Superman if you're just gonna put 10 minutes of them fighting. Like, if you're gonna call it Batman versus Superman, put like more fighting in there, or like
I agree,
multiple sequences, like multiple scenes of them fighting at least.
I agree.
If not, I mean, like, what the fuck?
Oh, I agree. I agree. Yeah. No, I mean, a couple things though. I mean, I don't disagree with you on the title. I do think that it was a misstep. I mean, I think that, and again, we'll get to the Batman coming up here, here in a minute. But like, I had to push back on a couple of your points though, because number one, the movie, and I tell you, everybody, I encourage you guys to watch the R-rated extended 3-hour cut.
Yes, please. Like, do for Justice League as well, because honestly, it's so much better than the theatrical.
I do, especially now that on HBO Max they've also formatted the Batman v Superman to be like IMAX enhanced or whatever too. So I'm gonna watch
the Batman vs Superman extended cut.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
It's great if you can find it on. I think it's on HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, Ultimate Edition. That's what it's called, the Ultimate version. Yeah. So watch that. I do encourage you because it fleshes a lot more out. Even Sammy and I had a discussion.
Just like a Justice League.
Even Sammy and I had a discussion on it, and she was even like, "Man, I'm kind of down with Ben Affleck's Batman now, and I like this movie a lot more." I mean,
the Snyder cut of Justice League really made me like Ben Affleck's Batman more.
Yeah, same with his cut of Batman v Superman. It's like, and even in the theatrical cut, I think Ben Affleck's good. It's just that the ultimate cut just complements the character a lot more, and it allows him to shine a little bit more and show really. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point I was going to push back on is two things. Number one, it is about. I'm agreeing that it was a misstep to call it Batman v Superman. I 100% agree with you. What I'm pushing back on, though, a little bit, though, in the title's defense, and again, I think it was a misstep, call it Dawn of Justice. It is about the conflict of Batman v Superman, though, throughout it, or Batman and Superman throughout the entirety of it. Like the conflict of Batman and Superman.
They're never even actually having conflicts. Like they're like most of the movie, they're not.
The
whole
movie is about their conflict,
but they're not even seeing face to face.
No, but I'm not talking about it like a physical conflict. It's about their conflict.
Oh well, still, you shouldn't have called it Batman versus
Oh, I
Superman. The
agree
fuck,
with
just
you. I am agreeing. I'm agreeing with your point.
I don't give a fuck if the studio wants it to be a physical conflict or a mental conflict. Just don't call it Batman versus Superman.
I
if they're
agree
not
with your
actually gonna
point.
be
I'm just saying,
fighting.
if I had to give any defense to the title, the movie is about the two.
Yeah,
of
just
them.
don't do that. Just don't.
I'm just saying, in general. But again, I do agree with your point. It was a big misstep. They should have called it Dawn of Justice,
Yeah,
and just left.
I think fans would have. I think fans would have liked this a lot more if they
Yeah.
would have called it that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
just and not just because. Well, I mean, it is obviously because it's not really Batman or Superman, but that title just sounds so much cooler than Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Like
but the second thing I wanted to push back on, though, you said Batman using kryptonite. What was he supposed to do? It's his only weakness. What's he supposed to do?
Batman don't have no weakness though.
He's got plenty of weaknesses.
Yeah, I mean he is human, true.
Yeah, he's a human being. What's he supposed to do? I mean, like, because they didn't really fight, but they kind of fought earlier in the movie.
I mean, there were scenes in the fight when he was using the kryptonite gas where they were having physical like fights. But that's the other reason why I didn't like that scene is because Superman wasn't even really doing anything because he was just getting hit constantly with kryptonite gas.
Yeah,
there's nothing he really could have done, which is why I was super underwhelmed with that movie and hated it so much because Superman wasn't doing shit and Batman was just throwing kryptonite gas at him. And then your mom's name's Martha, so is mine. Oh, let's become best friends.
Well, to me, that's one of the most misunderstood points of the movie, though, because granted, I get that you're going there.
I think the reason why is because of the point in the movie where they put it. I feel like if it was on any other scene, it would have actually hit me.
But that's because of the expectation of you wanting to go in to see this big fight, though. Like, if you take the expectation out of it, the scene is actually quite misunderstood, if you ask me, because, like, first of all, like, Superman didn't want to fight Batman. Like, that's just a fact. I understand it's called Batman v Superman, so you're going there to watch them fight. I understand your point. I'm saying, like,
that's what every single other fan was probably hoping for.
Yeah,
that's why it did so shit.
Oh, it did horrible.
That's why it's because everyone was expecting this like long ass big ass fight between the two of them.
I recognize I'm in the minority in defending anything about it, but I'm just throwing it out there. I think that scene is misunderstood incredibly. Superman didn't want to fight Batman. Batman was wanting to fight Superman, so it was.
Well, he was just wanting to kill him because he's some super god here on Earth.
Well, he saw the destruction that he, caused.
Yeah, because well, I mean, it wasn't. That's the same thing as like with the Avengers when the government was trying to have them to stop fighting because they cause all this damage, but like it's technically not their fault because it's a bunch of aliens that are coming to Earth. Yeah. So what? You'd rather them not fight and then you guys they obliterate the whole Earth? Like it's like the same situation here. Like Superman technically did cause that damage, but at the same time, it wasn't his fault because there was a bunch of aliens and another super god who came to fight him. So it's not technically his fault. So it's like, it makes no sense.
Whatever. I mean, you guys could find a discussion on it in the channel. Sammy and I did it. It's really in depth and good. We tried to give all the points that we could, and I do encourage, since the movie's been reappraised since, going to watch the ultimate version because it's the definitive version of that movie, and go in there with the mindset that it's not a Batman v Superman movie. Just look at it as a setup for the Justice League. And
watch both of the watch both of the cuts of Justice League and Batman v Superman because
but anyway, one more thing, by the way, just throwing this out there, the scene in the warehouse though when he does save Martha, that is one of the best Batman action scenes we've gotten in
oh my god. Justice. He saves Superman's mom.
Yeah
dude, that was honestly probably awesome. That was my favorite part of that movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, because when he kicks all those guys' ass, oh my god, dude, it was so sick.
That was awesome. And just
the
sick. Camera work, the stunt work, and it's even better in the ultimate cut. You get a lot more blood and stuff, and it's great.
Although it did make me cry. One more thing before what did actually make me cry in that movie was when Superman sacrificed himself.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great.
Actually, I think I actually shed some tears because I actually went. I'm kind of sad that I spent money on this movie buying a ticket, but I actually remember that I went to the theaters to watch this movie because I was so hyped about, oh my god, it's Batman v Superman. I've been waiting for this shit for the longest time. Yeah. So I was like, I need to go to the theaters to watch this, and fuck was I underwhelmed. And
Yeah,
but yeah, that part had me
that part's yeah,
when he sacrificed
great.
himself. That shit was
Great. And I love when he was done saving his mom. He was like, "I'm a friend of your son's," and
That was sick.
I
That was sick.
figured the cape." That was really
Like,
good, and he's just like, "That was
yep.
awesome." Yeah, and then the Snyder cut. I mean, oh my god, I can go on about Ben Affleck's performance in that all day. It's so good. I love the what did Alfred say to him? Jeremy Irons' Alfred is great, by the way. But he said something to him about. He said, tell them to wait for it or something like that. He's like, because Alfred's like, what should I tell the people of Gotham? And he's like, tell them to wait for it. And he's like, wait for what, sir? And he's like, and then Ben Affleck's, hope, Alfred, hope. I just thought that stuff was so good.
That was in the Justice League, right?
Right, in the Snyder cut of Justice
Yeah,
League.
bro. Oh my god, yeah, that was great.
Oh my god, Ben Affleck is so good in that movie. But anyway, so Pattinson. We got Robert Pattinson now.
I am really, you know what I'm also really excited for is Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Yeah, me too.
I'm actually so excited because honestly, Andy Serkis is so talented. He is just phenomenal as an actor, and contrary to you, I really did enjoy his Venom a lot.
That has nothing to do with his acting ability, though. I'm
talking about, but direction. But I'm saying, like, as a director too, I really did enjoy his directing in that film. That's why I just, he's just so talented, and I'm actually super excited to see him as Alfred in this movie.
Never would I take away Andy Serkis's talent. He's definitely a talented man. I mean, I think his directing could use work, but I think he's talented in every other aspect of his career. And, I am excited to see him play Alfred. I just love his presence on screen as an actor. And yeah, man, my hype for this movie has gone kind of up and down because that first teaser was phenomenal. It was like one of the best freaking teasers I've ever seen for a movie.
I think we watched that one together.
We did, where he's punching him out and he's like, vengeance. So good.
Dude.
And then you got around to that second trailer, which I'm in the minority, thought was just slightly underwhelming. Like, I didn't hate it, but
I'm there with you. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one.
Right. But to me it was like, I hope that's because they're saving the best stuff for the movie.
I think we might have seen the second one together as well.
We did, I think, maybe, yeah.
And my comments were that it was like too much commentary and too, like, I don't know, kind of like jokey, I think, in a way. It wasn't like,
it felt a little cheeseball, if you ask me. Like, I don't know why, and I understand I'm in the minority here, but it just felt a little bit Batman Forever to me. Not that it was the worst thing I'd ever seen. Like, the action choreography that was there looked pretty solid and stuff, and like, I did like the upside down shot of Batman walking up to the car. That was dope. Goodness. That was dope.
That was
so. It had some stuff to get excited about for sure. Now, this last trailer, loved it. I thought this third one,
incredible.
The Cat in the Bat trailer was fantastic. Got me kind of right back on board. So, and just like seeing kind of the sort of the tone. I think we're starting to get more into the tone that's going forward now with this third trailer, and also
it's very dark and I don't know, kind of like sadistic and like,
very,
I don't know, it's very like dark, and it's like psychologically like messed up. It's like he's been through some shit.
And I just like the take they're going for with Gotham City. It just feels very accurate to me.
And I like how they've made his face like darker and like kind of look scarier.
Mm-hmm.
In contrast to Ben Affleck's, which was just his regular face.
Yeah.
I really like what they're doing with Robert Pattinson's Batman, where they're making him seem more like messed up in the head and kind of like darker.
Yeah,
I really like it.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, it looks really good. I do like Gotham City too, the way that they're portraying it, because it looks like a place you don't want to live, and it looks
it looks like a place where a bunch of like fucked up people live, like in the head, like a lot of like messed up people live.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. It's just like every day.
I honestly can't wait till the day that they have a Joaquin Phoenix Robert Pattinson movie. Honestly, that would be sick. I think Joaquin Phoenix's Joker versus Robert Pattinson's Batman would be an incredible movie.
Now, one of the things that people are upset about, and we'll kind of talk about this, we're getting like a lot of stuff. The marketing is starting to
the music
really push.
The music that you sent me.
Well, we'll talk about that in a second.
That
But
was
we'll talk about that in a second. But yes, we have to talk about that. That's important. But the first thing we're going to get into is the rating did come out from the MPAA. PG-13, which a lot of people are pissed about. They wanted an R-rated movie. Look,
I see.
at the end of the day, this can still be great. I think that it doesn't need the R rating. Did I want this to be R-rated? Absolutely.
Yes.
I did, but
Same.
it's not the end of the world if it's not. You can get away with a lot in PG-13. I would like to point out to people that the Unbreakable trilogy is a PG-13 trilogy with Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. All three of those films were PG-13. Very
I just
dark
feel
movies.
I feel like this. I just feel like this one's gonna be darker though than those two.
Yeah, I do too, and that's the thing. It's like you could
except I don't know, except maybe Split, because it was about a dude who would like 23 different personalities. So that one was a little darker.
Yeah.
Than Glass and the other one I forget.
Yeah, that's just one I can think of off the top of my head. That's a good example of something that like still ended up being very dark, very gritty, and yet
was PG-13.
managed to stay in PG-13. I think this movie's going to be good still. I don't think that the PG-13 is going to hurt it at all, honestly. Now, something else that was interesting too, and some people are having mixed opinions on this, is the runtime of the movie. Which we're looking at 2 hours and 55 minutes. So we're looking at close to a 3-hour movie.
It's like Avengers Endgame.
Look, man, I'm into it. I'm into it.
I mean, dude,
if
honestly,
it's good, I'm into it.
Look, give me more. The more you give me, the better. Because I'm all for it.
I mean, to me, I'm a big fan of like epic style storytelling, and this gives you the chance to do that with the Batman in a way that we've never seen before. And we can get some of that dialogue heavy stuff that we like too. Yeah, it's gonna be like a really good balance, I think. Look, this is gonna. I think that the 2 hours and 55 minutes, it gives you the time to really build out this character, and to really get us used to seeing Robert Pattinson in year 2 of being Batman. That's the other thing we got to remember here. I think that's a really cool take, is the fact this is only his second year being Batman. It gives us time to attach ourselves to him as Batman and just really. It's gonna be the first time. It's gonna be the first time we see him on screen as Batman. So it's gonna be. I think it's pretty smart having a longer runtime, because, like you said, it's gonna give us more time to find out his backstory and his more about his character and some people might relate, which will be great. But you can also get obviously all the action that you could possibly put in there for someone like Batman. Yeah, which we will also love, obviously. Yeah, and I think it says a lot to me that the studio is willing to take this chance, with Matt Reeves to do something like this that's this long. And, the other thing that came out recently was the fact that this movie was originally 4 hours when they test screened it.
Jesus
and
Christ.
They had to cut it down. So, look, I mean... Extended cut. I know, that's what I'm saying. I would really be interested to see what it'd be like at 4 hours. But, look, they had to cut it down to 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say they just cut an hour off, but it'd be pretty interesting to see what they had in that 1 hour.
Yeah, for sure.
It'd be pretty interesting.
But look, to me it just shows how ambitious this movie is. I know people are complaining that they have to sit through it for 3 hours, but look, it shows the ambition. You people watching right now sat through Endgame, which is 3 hours and 2 minutes long. This movie is not that much shorter. Yeah. So if you can sit through Endgame, then you guys can definitely sit through this movie. Look how many seasons of television we sit through, which are like 8 to 10 hour movies. It's like, honestly, I don't know how people can sit through like 2 seasons, 20 minutes each episode with like 13 episodes, but can't sit through a 3 hour movie. I mean, I guess it's because you're at home, you can pause whenever you want, rewind. That's one complaint I'll take, because like, granted, you can't pause, you don't use the
and
bathroom.
I was about to say, if you're watching a show, you can pause to go to the bathroom, come back, play it again. Or if you need to go do something, you can pause and go do your thing, come back. If you need food, you can pause, go make some food, come back and keep watching. I mean,
which is valid, but
and you can do the same thing obviously with movies that are on streaming services. You can pause it, go and get whatever food, or you go to the bathroom, come back and press play again.
Just for the folks going to see us in the theater, though, I understand the criticism, or not criticism, but complaints.
Pee and poo right before going in.
Yeah.
Get it all out, because I made the mistake during Spider-Man of not going to pee before watching the movie, and I had to miss a scene from the movie. So pee and poo everything out of your system before you go in.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
And
Because I remember when Endgame was coming and everyone heard that it was a 3-hour runtime on social media. The trending topics were like, "Oh my gosh, how are we gonna be able to get through 3 hours? We're all gonna need to go pee."
yeah.
I'm like, well, just don't drink anything before going to the theater, and just go to the bathroom before
Yeah.
and get everything out your system before you walk in, and don't drink anything while you watch.
Yeah.
And if you do,
Look.
just take little sips as you watch. I mean,
Yeah, look, man, I miss the good old days. I really do, where we can have 3-hour movies and nobody bitched about it. Because like,
yeah, but nowadays people's attention spans are like 8-year-old kids in Harry Potter.
and I think it's
filming
horseshit
with
because
Chris Columbus.
in storytelling, the story needs to be as long as the story needs to be, in storytelling. And now, look, I could definitely come out of this movie and say it was too long. I'm not trying to say that that's not possible. It's possible, but before we've seen it, to put this kind of judgment on it is ridiculous to me. And there's a lot of this sort of, people bitching and stuff. And I think that this is going to be, it just shows the ambition of it. I mean,
imagine we come out of this movie and say that it was actually too short.
yeah. Remember when Lord of the Rings came out, man? Nobody cared that it was like 3 hours a movie,
Yeah,
like,
that was
nobody
also a lot, farther back in time than now.
my point. It's this, it's
That's what I mean. It's this generation thing. Is this people's attention span are literally the same as an 8-year-old kid filming for Harry Potter with Chris Columbus.
Yeah, and I just and Chris Columbus made a 3-hour Harry Potter movie too, so whatever. But to me, it's just horseshit to like sit here and bitch about this. It's like, come on, guys, like this is.
Just watch. I bet you. Look, I mean, the thing, you know what really pisses me off too is that if this movie ever comes out on a streaming service, no one's gonna complain that it's 3 hours long, because they're gonna be able to pause it and whenever they want and rewind.
It'll be on
HBO
forward. Max at some point. It's
and no one's gonna bitch because oh, bro, I can just pause whenever I want and play whenever I want, rewind, fast forward. It's that's what pisses me off, is that people complain when it's 3 hours long in the theaters, but when it comes to a streaming service, no one bitches.
Yeah, and I just I hope this movie doesn't lose money over that. But look, if word of mouth is good on this movie, nobody's gonna care.
Avengers Endgame didn't lose money over being 3 hours long, so
no. I mean, if it gets good reviews and the ratings are high, nobody's gonna care. Let's be very real about that, and like nobody's really gonna care to go see it. But you brought up a good point. So
the music.
The music. Let's talk about.
Oh my god, that video that you sent me.
Giacchino's Batman theme has been put out for the movie, and Michael Giacchino, man, has been just killing it, man, with Spider-Man. Now this, I thought the Spider-Man score was one of the best scores to come out last year. And like,
is Morbius actually coming out in January?
March.
Or has it been pushed? It's been pushed.
No, it's always been March.
Oh, because I look it up and it says January 28th.
It's coming out in March
on the internet. That's what it says.
No, it comes out in March.
It's weird. Well, that's 2 movies coming out in March then.
Yeah. So Giacchino's score for this, though, it's phenomenal. And
oh my god, dude, I was, when he sent me that, I was eating some food. Well, I was eating food and watching some YouTube videos, and so as soon as you sent me the DM, I literally just pressed on the link you sent me, and just while I was eating, just started listening to that music, and oh my goodness gracious, it's phenomenal.
Honestly. I love that it has like a darkness to it, but it also like it's got this emotional element to it. It just
it goes up,
and
then comes like back down to like this dark tone, but then goes right back up. It's like a roller coaster of a soundtrack.
It just
I sat there with like my eyes closed, just listening to the soundtrack, and oh my goodness gracious, was my mind blown.
It's beautiful, man. And Giacchino is just a guy we need to have in the conversation. Is one of the best composers now, because between this and Spider-Man and Rogue One, I mean, the guy's just been doing some great work. So
he did. Wait, which ones did he do in Spider-Man?
All 3. He's done all 3 now.
Oh wow!
But No Way Home, he went extra hard with.
Oh my goodness! His No Way Home soundtrack was incredible. It's phenomenal.
Amazing. It's one of my favorite scores for last year.
100%.
So he's just
he did Rogue One.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Rogue One's was phenomenable as well.
Yeah, honestly. He's been killing it, man. I think he's just somebody we need to start looking at when it comes to composers.
It's a new John Williams.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's a It's a big those are big shoes to fill, but yeah, man,
True.
I love this. I love his scores as of late, and the Batman's no exception. This is going to be something
Yeah,
special.
this
So
Batman soundtrack is sounding phenomenal. Honestly, you can't wait to hear it in the movie, man.
well, at least if the movie sucks, we can walk out saying we love the score. So that's
I
good.
mean, yeah, we've said that about a couple George Lucas Star Wars films that we've
Yeah,
hated him, but we've liked his score. So
absolutely. Look, so something else going on in the world. We're a little bit late on this, but we do have a new trailer for an
ow.
MCU property called Moon Knight.
Woo!
And I think that we both really enjoyed this trailer, but I'll let you go ahead and give your opinion on it.
Yeah, so I saw a news report saying that they were releasing the trailer on Monday Night Football like a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so I sat down on my TV and waited for the trailer to come. And they did it during halftime. And oh my goodness gracious, it blew me away. Honestly, I think this no, I don't think this is going to be Oscar Isaac's best performance of his career. Honestly, I think
Mm-hmm.
so. Just the fact that he can play this, like put his mental state into this kind of character role, this like he's messed up in the head basically, and the fact that he's able to just switch like that and fill this character role is phenomenal. And I'm actually just I can't wait to see him in this role. And and yeah, man, I'm super excited. I remember actually sending you the trailer for you to watch, because
Yeah.
I then watched it again on YouTube a second time, uh, and so then I sent it to you so you could watch it because I didn't know if you had seen it yet, so I just went ahead and sent it to you just in case. But
No,
yeah,
I hadn't, and I was glad you did, and very phenomenal. I mean, look, somewhere the MCU has not gone, and they've gone to so many different routes, is the psychological thriller. I mean, we got hints of it in No Way Home with the Green Goblin stuff, but we've never really dove in on a main character and made this psychological thriller out of it. I've been stoked about this project since I found out who was attached, and Oscar Isaac, who I love, and Ethan Hawke, who 5 years ago you couldn't get him to say anything good about a comic book property. So the fact that he got attached to this, I mean, must mean that there's something special to this. And I think,
and I was gonna say just real quick, I've been excited for them to make a either a movie or a show about Moon Knight ever since I found out that in the comics he fought alongside Deadpool.
that's true. He's fought
And
alongside a
you know
lot of
I
people, but yeah,
exactly yeah I mean he was like most known for fighting alongside Deadpool. When I found that out,
yeah,
because I loved Ryan Reynolds and his Deadpool so much, and I watching the trailer, he reminds me of like a darker, more fucked up in the head version of Deadpool.
that's interesting.
In a way, I mean, sort of, kind of. I mean,
I didn't grasp that, but okay.
like when he's
Keep
like
going.
when he's like in his suit and he was like punching the dude on the floor.
Maybe.
Kind of reminds me of like a more dark, twisted Deadpool.
Maybe. I didn't grasp that, but that's interesting that you did. Look, I mean, the thing I'll agree with you on is this might be Oscar Isaac's best performance of his career. To dive into a character with dissociative identity disorder is pretty interesting to me, and for him to also just like, I mean, yeah, to channel the crazy is really cool, man. And for him to just, and again, I mean, I love Poe Dameron, I love Inside Llewyn Davis. He's had great performances prior, but this is going to be something really interesting, and I want to see how the show really deals with that. Hopefully, in a way that's grounded to a disease that's very real in human beings today, and can be very
people,
scary.
I mean, they might not relate to the part of the fact that he turns into this like vigilante, but they could at least relate to
the human elements of it, yeah,
of him having this disorder, yeah.
And I like the fact that
I also like how he's portraying a British person in this show, and he's got that British accent.
Yeah, and
I actually like he's doing something completely out of his element. He's playing a British guy who's got this mental disorder,
100%.
This vigilante psychopath. I can't wait to see what he brings to the table with his show. And I thought I'd mention too that we actually lost someone who was on this project.
Oh, that's true. Yes, there was a death. Yeah,
French actor. He was very young, 37.
Wow.
Died way too young.
Oh, yeah.
he was skiing in the French Alps.
That's right.
Um, he was coming off the ski lift, and he was going down one of the blue slopes. Crashed into another skier. Somehow the other skier didn't, he came out with no injuries or anything, and they found him unconscious on the snow. They tried to take him to the hospital as fast as they could.
Yeah.
Suffered brain damage and yep, was pronounced dead.
It's always the
So,
worst when you hear about somebody dying from something a little bit, just trying to do something recreational. That's
some yeah,
always
some, I
crazy.
mean, I know skiing is a very dangerous sport.
Absolutely.
You always got to be careful, but I mean, just something as recreational as skiing. I mean, to hear that
Yeah.
someone's, especially, I mean, I'd understand if it was going down like a black diamond slope, which is like the most dangerous slope in the world, and you like, I don't know, something
Yeah.
happens to you. I mean, but like crashing into another skier is just so unfortunate, man. I mean,
Yeah. Sad. It's so sad. And then, yeah, I
well,
mean,
we at least get to see him for one season, which is good.
yeah, very cool.
I'm just wondering what they're gonna do if they announce this for a second season, what they're
Yeah.
gonna do.
Look, other things I liked about this trailer, and rest in peace to him. I mean, yeah, but hopefully he leaves behind a great legacy with us because this does look phenomenal. But
It's so sad that he's not gonna be able to
I know,
watch it. Watch
it's
himself
very
in this.
sad. It's terrible, and it happened so shortly after this trailer dropped, and that's
Oh, and
even
I was
worse.
gonna say he actually won the French version of an Oscar.
Oh, really? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. He won it. I, I can't remember. I can't remember if the report said he won it before he died, or if he was awarded it, when he was pronounced dead. I can't remember,
Very
but I
cool.
just know he was given the French version of an Oscar.
Look, other
Yeah.
things that I liked about this trailer, though. I mean, I like that we're kind of gonna, I think we're gonna be just as confused for a long time as the main character is, following Oscar Isaac, because that's just the way the show looks. Like it looks like he's gonna be kind of playing this unreliable narrator in a way, much not dissimilar to the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, where you really don't know what's real and what's not. And I think that this show's gonna play into that a lot. I love the usage in the trailer too of Kid Cudi's Day and Night. I think that takes on multiple meanings. Whether you want to look at it as day and night, it's day and night difference between him as a human and him as
I've realized Kid Cudi has been in he's been active, acting wise recently.
very.
He was in Don't Look Up too.
Yeah, we'll
He
talk about
played
that because you watched that. So
he played Ariana
hold that thought.
played Ariana Grande's boyfriend.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think day and night could be taken a couple different ways. Obviously, Moon Knight, so that's one way to look at it, and then the other side
Because
of
it could be like, yeah, his human version is day, and then his
yeah,
vigilante is night.
day and night difference, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so
I also, what I really liked from the trailer was the way that he transforms, the way he gets himself into his uniform,
yeah,
his suit. It kind of looks like he's being mummified, wrapped in like mummy clothes, but it's like his suit. I
Yeah.
like that because obviously, he got his powers from, the pyramids of, I think it was in Egypt and the pyramids of Giza,
That's
if I'm
right,
not
yeah.
mistaken. So it's almost like, he's being mummified into
Yeah.
his suit, which is
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that a lot because
Yeah.
we've never seen anything like that. When it comes to superheroes, it kind of, they always put their suits on themselves. Here it's like he's transforming himself
Yeah.
into his suit, which is really cool, and it's a really cool concept.
I agree.
I'm really thrilled that they did that.
I
for the
agree.
show.
I
also.
agree. I think it looks definitely cool. It's a slightly different design than you might have seen in the comic books, a little bit, but it looks very cool the way that this iteration of it looks great. Yeah, man, let's talk about Don't Look Up though, because you kind of started to get into that a little bit because no, look, man, I'll be real. I really like this movie a lot. It's not my favorite of the year, but I liked it a lot. Like I think that well, talking about the career of the great Adam McKay, going from Anchorman to Step Brothers to Talladega Nights, and my favorite film of his being Big Short, and then he had Vice, which I didn't like nearly as much. I did like Vice, but this one I liked a lot, and this kind of brought me back to the Big Short a little bit, the way I love that movie, but not quite as much. I have a real love for Big Short. I think Big Short has definitely been his best movie to date, but this one is pretty good. I liked it a lot. I thought the realism of that. Look, I mean, there's one thing that if there's one thing I know that people don't like in this day and age, it's reality. So I get that, okay, because this movie's kind of taken some backlash, and it's because of the reality that I think it portrays, and to me, like, that's one thing people don't like to see or hear is reality. But the fact is like, this dealt with this problem in this movie the way that it would be dealt with in reality. I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was pretty fire in it. I really do. I think that he just portrayed the character he was trying to play in the best way possible. Jonah Hill was good, definitely not a standout, but he was good. I think he did what he was supposed to do, and he made me laugh quite a few times. I just thought he was an absolute dickhead. Glenn Close as the president was just so realistic to the way that a modern president would act. But also Jennifer Lawrence was definitely like a standout to me. I was so glad to see her do something great after Dark Phoenix, after she stunk up the room in that thing, because
I mean, she was in it. She was in Dark Phoenix all of like 20 minutes,
and she stunk in it. That was her worst performance. She was half-assing. It was bad.
I mean, the whole movie was ass. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Every single person in that movie, except for Dark Phoenix, the villain in that movie, she was probably the best part of that film. But besides that, the whole movie stunk up the gaff. I remember I watched that movie in theaters as well, and it was the worst money I've ever spent in my life. Honestly, don't know why I bought tickets to that movie. It was awful. It was god awful.
Well, regardless, I mean, I'm just happy to see her going back to a character that suits her so well, suits her sensibilities incredibly well. And then also, I mean, Timothée Chalamet just did really great work here too, and just played off of her so incredibly well. And yeah, man, I mean, I was just kind of hooked with this thing, because I was like, man, this is just it was a very funny movie, but very scary all at the same time. It kind of struck this strange tone where it was like, in a good way to me, where it was kind of balancing the funny parts, but also very scary, because this is reality right now. This is if
I'm not too sure about a comet the size of Mount Everest hitting us being reality right now, because that's not going to happen.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if a comet were to hit us like that, that's how we would deal with it. That's what I'm talking about.
I would just kill myself.
I mean,
honestly,
the comet is a metaphor for COVID-19. I mean, that's clear in the movie. It's very
except
clear.
it hasn't destroyed all of Earth.
No, but it's a metaphor for it. It doesn't matter if it destroyed. It's an exaggerated metaphor.
If a comet that size was coming to Earth, I would just end myself right then and there. But I wouldn't want to have to deal with being in riots, being against them, nothing. Like, I would just end myself right then and there.
Yeah, but then what's brilliant about the movie is it asks you the question: what side of this are you going to be on? Are you going to be like these people who don't believe it? Because, or you?
I mean, I'm gonna believe it, but I'm gonna just not deal with it.
Or are you going to be smart and like actually trust the science? That's
but I mean,
what's asking you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll give my thoughts on it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Glad you enjoyed it. I found myself checking how much time was left in the movie a lot of times throughout this film. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Again, I didn't love it. It's not my favorite thing, but it was good. Sorry, go ahead.
I kind of just watched it because it's on our list of Oscar-nominated movies to watch.
Well, contenders. It might not. But who knows? Yeah.
It's the reason. I think it's the main reason why I watched it. Just because I've still got like 14 films I need to get through.
Yeah, check one off for exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, I think Leonardo DiCaprio was probably, besides Timothée Chalamet, was probably my favorite person in this movie. I feel like Jennifer Lawrence was underused in this movie. Okay. I didn't feel like she got enough lines. I felt like I was barely hearing her talk throughout this movie.
Okay, so just really quick, I have a question about that. So just to be clear, it wasn't the performance, it was just the utilization.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
It was just the fact that I didn't feel like she talked much in this movie. I mean, I feel like I felt like I barely heard her throughout this movie. Maybe more in the beginning, but that's about all that I heard from her. I mean, throughout the rest of the movie, I really barely even heard from her.
One of my favorite lines was when the comet was coming. This is right in the beginning, so it's not a spoiler. When they found out about the comet, she's like, "I need to get high." It was just it was actually really well delivered. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Jonah Hill. I mean, I've seen better.
Yeah, it wasn't his best.
Again, I feel like I barely heard from him as well.
Yeah.
I feel like he was underused as well. Barely got any lines in this film. Probably even less than Jennifer Lawrence, honestly.
For sure.
Uh, Glenn Close is pretty funny as a president. I
She
won't
was
lie.
good. She was realistic. She was grounded, but yeah.
The guy who made Life, he was pretty funny as
He was
well.
funny. Yeah, he was
He
funny.
was funny. He was funny as hell. He's my comedic relief in the movie because I honestly wanted to stop watching the movie, but he kept me watching the movie because he was funny as hell.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry is really funny as
Yeah,
well
very.
as
I'm
the
glad you
anchorman.
pointed that out. He actually like delivered, and I'm not like this big Tyler Perry guy,
You
but
see
he
that, but
delivers
you
here.
see that's the thing is I actually enjoy his movies like the
Oh,
Medea
good.
funeral,
Good.
the Boo Medea, all those movies I thoroughly enjoyed. They're funnier than hell to me,
I'm
but
glad I don't, but I liked him here. I thought he was
yeah,
great.
he was
Yeah,
really funny and as the anchor.
very.
Timothy Chalamet, incredible. I honestly, I don't think I've seen a bad movie by Timothy Chalamet to this day.
He delivered. Yeah.
He's honestly the best actor going right now. I haven't seen him do a bad performance honestly in any movie that he's been in. And I do agree with you towards the end when he met Jennifer Lawrence, that their chemistry, the way they bounced off each
It
other
worked really
was
well.
incredible. I
Very on
honestly
point.
never expected him and Jennifer Lawrence
No,
to be in a movie together. It was
me either.
honestly like when I saw the trailer and saw that Timothy Chalamet was in it, I was like, he's gonna be in a movie with Jennifer Lawrence. That's kind of weird. I would have never thought of it, but they actually.
They worked really
I
well.
feel like he has chemistry, like good chemistry with almost anyone. Like
He just blends in like a chameleon.
you look at Dune. He had good chemistry with Zendaya, Oscar
Yeah.
Isaac, Jason Momoa, Lady Jessica. I forget her name, but
Oh yeah, Rebecca Ferguson. Yeah.
her. Yeah, I just feel like he has amazing chemistry with anyone that he works with. And so yeah, those parts with Jennifer Lawrence and Timothy Chalamet were one of my favorite parts of the movie. Um, the when they were seated down eating, like making the dinner and stuff, having their last supper together, it kind of almost reminded me of like in the Bible when Jesus sat down and
Yeah.
had last supper with his disciples. It kind of
Yeah.
it was almost like a metaphor to that.
Yeah. I agree.
And so I really enjoyed that. That was probably my favorite scene of the movie.
The ending made it for
on
sure. The ending was like the most powerful part of it, and it made it.
that's
Yeah.
what had me in tears. Just that's what had me thinking like that's honestly what I actually probably
Remember, we're
would have
not
done.
spoiling the movie though. But go ahead. Sorry.
No, no, so
Just,
saying
keeping
that's
that in
that's
mind.
probably what I would have done. Is I would have just gotten together with like my family and friends, like closest friends, and just had like one last meal
Yeah.
together. And so it kind of just had me like thinking, and kind of almost had me in tears. How powerful that scene was.
Yeah, and right when Leo said, "Oh, that's a spoiler. Never mind. I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah,
Sorry."
but I think I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, but you know the line. He says a line at the end, and that was really powerful. That was.
Oh my
good.
goodness, yeah. But yeah, no. Overall, I mean, was it in my top 5 of movies this year? No.
No, mine either.
Did I hate it? No.
Yeah.
It was
That was really good.
It was pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
Would I watch it again? No. Like would I take time out of my time to watch it again? No, because I'd rather watch other stuff.
Yeah.
But it was all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah. Look, I mean, again, I think you look at Adam McKay's career from Anchorman to this, and the guy just continuously reinvents himself as a filmmaker. So just always happy to see that, him trying new things and him, trying to maneuver new stories.
You say he did Talladega Nights as well?
Talladega Nights, Anchorman, Step Brothers, Big Short,
honestly,
Vice,
like
and,
Talladega Nights is one of my favorite films.
It's
honestly,
probably the best Will Ferrell movie in my opinion.
It's funnier. It's funnier than hell. Him and I forget his name.
John C. Reilly.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Their chemistry in that film is phenomenal.
For sure.
They're funnier than hell. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. But Big Short definitely still my favorite of the McKay movies. That's one I can definitely like. I love that movie. I have gone back to rewatch that one time and time again. The Big Short is just amazing. But and Vice, like I said, okay. But this one. A step up from Vice, not nearly as good as Big Short, but definitely a step up. I did watch this one twice, because I knew we were going to come back and try to talk about it on the show at some point, and here we are. So I wanted to make sure I did watch it twice and to try to get a full fledged feelings on it. Definitely liked it better the second time. I will say that I liked it the first time, liked it a little bit more the second.
Big Short's got a really good cast.
Oh,
Jeez.
amazing movie! If you have not seen The Big Short, it is
I
Adam
have not
McKay's.
seen it. No.
That's Adam McKay's masterpiece. It's unbelievably good,
I mean,
and
yeah, just from the cast alone, Jesus,
I have
it's got
revisited
some
that movie
really good
so many
cast
times, and
members.
it is unfortunate to see. I will say this about Don't Look Up, and me being an Adam McKay fan, it just seems like after Big Short, he hasn't been quite able to capture that magic again. But again, this was better than Vice, and Vice wasn't bad at all. I mean, I liked Vice still, but it just it wasn't nearly as good as Big Short, and quite disappointing in comparison. But this one, a lot better, and getting back to it. But look, you're right. To go off of your sort of complaints and criticisms, we have seen each one of these cast members do better work.
Oh,
And like,
100%. I
and
mean,
so
like for example, Jennifer Lawrence. A movie I off the top of my head that I can remember that I really thoroughly enjoyed from her was one called Red Sparrow. That
didn't watch
movie,
it, but I hear it's great. I
dude,
hear she's
honestly,
great in it. I should say,
phenomenal. Honestly,
yeah,
it's honestly probably my favorite performance by her to this day.
yeah. I hear she's great in that movie, and I would love to watch.
Phenomenal.
My favorite of hers is Silver Linings Playbook, the movie she won an Oscar for, rightfully so. I think she's just
There's this
phenomenal.
other
in Silver
there's this other
Linings
movie I
Playbook.
think that I saw her in. She was some kind of assassin. It wasn't Red Sparrow. It was another one that she's also in. That she
Okay.
was
The
like,
only one I can
and
think of is Red Sparrow, but no.
I think there's another one that I saw with her in it because this was in Ecuador. I watched two back-to-back movies with Jennifer Lawrence. One was Red Sparrow. I can't remember the name of the other one, but those two movies were phenomenal. Honestly, by her.
Cool.
Yeah. Obviously, I think DiCaprio's my favorite performance, but from him, besides Titanic, would probably have to be The Great Gatsby with Tobey Maguire.
Oh, for
Movies.
me, it's hands down Aviator. That would be mine. I love
Great Gatsby. Great Gatsby is phenomenal.
I love Wolf of Wall Street's another one too. I'd throw.
I was
in there,
going
but
to actually.
yeah, I would throw.
Matthew McConaughey is amazing in that film.
Oh yeah, whole movie's incredible. But and Jonah Hill, I mean, you're looking at a 2-time Academy Award winner here, and or not winner but nominee, and it's just it's. I did think. Like I said, I think what they were going for, he fit the role. It's just I was kind of looking at his part like this could have been anybody. You didn't need 2-time Academy Award nominee Jonah Hill to play this. Like you could have picked any
because
douchebag to do it.
No offense to this movie. I don't think it's going to be nominated for any awards.
I do think it will be.
I can't see it. I mean, maybe for best original song. The one with Ariana Grande and Kid Cudi, which
that
I
could
have
be
saved,
an interesting
which
nomination.
which I have saved on my Apple Music, and I listen to it in the car because it's funnier than hell.
Yeah, it's great
because they have like I never expected Ariana Grande and Kid Cudi to make a song together, but
yeah,
that song is funnier than hell, and I love it.
It's great.
So.
Yeah, it was actually really good, and yeah, again, I did like seeing those sort of comedic moments played in the movie. Again,
Ariana Grande was actually the little bit she was in. I actually really enjoyed.
I
thought she was funny. Like
yeah. Now, let's not forget. I mean, again, not another actress that again, it's not her best work, but I mean, Kate Blanchett as the other anchor, aside from opposite.
It was hot as hell.
Oh yeah, for sure. But not her best work, but good in the movie. I think she fit. That was one of the things about this movie.
I preferred her performance to Jennifer Lawrence's.
Yeah, maybe with the exception. Oh, sorry.
That's only because I hold Jennifer Lawrence to like a pretty high standard.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, I mean, and maybe with the exception of like Leo, who I thought just really did take his role and elevate it. Like I just felt like everybody else was. I love Jennifer Lawrence from the time she had, but like I just felt like everybody else was just kind of blending into the movie, and like
like this felt like now you say that this feels like a very DiCaprio movie.
Yeah. He
like
did well.
DiCaprio's centered movie with everyone else kind of just blending
into the back. Yeah. And like that, and you're right. There is some underutilization from everybody. We've all seen them take roles before and just elevate them to a new level. But did I enjoy this movie? Yeah, I liked it. I do think it's good. I think it's worth checking out. I think that it's going to have it's going to have various opinions from everybody. And I think that's been shown. Everything's
I'd give it a
mixed.
might watch. Honestly, would I recommend do you really need to watch it?
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I'm at a might watch too. I think it's at like a higher might watch, but it's at a might watch. I would still stick with your grade. Yeah, check it out if you got the time. If honestly, if you're an Adam McKay fan too, I mean, just again to see the contrast from him from Anchorman up until this, like just watching his sort of contrast and just watching him reinvent himself. You know, if you're an Adam McKay fan, maybe watch it. You know, but yeah, I'll go with the might watch too. Yeah, so that works. But good movie, good movie. You know, yeah, good movie. I'll leave it at that. It's good. Yeah, but anyway, so we were. I did want to make sure we did this too because we do you have our list of nominations?
I do, yes.
Okay,
Go
grab
it real
that.
quick.
Okay, all right. Jose's gonna go grab that. There were, look, guys, we did a whole nomination prediction. One of the things I wanted to do was to, you know, add a few more. There's a few that I do feel like we have missed, and we'll go over those here in a second when Jose gets back. That I think that for some reason we just overlooked,
Back.
and he is back. All right, so we're gonna go over these, and well, not all of them. We're gonna add a few, because there's a few I do feel like we may have missed here, that I would like to put into the running.
I won't lie to you. I watched Raya this past weekend.
Oh, is it good? I mean, I'll just check it out on my own time. It's fine.
It was.
You didn't like that one either, huh?
No.
Interesting.
Honestly, I don't know where Disney's falling short with their new animated films, but
Okay.
obviously Rotten Tomatoes liked it, but I mean, to each their own. I personally, I mean, wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
I preferred Luca to Raya, if I'm being honest.
Interesting. Okay.
Which I know I'm probably in the minority for, but
I'll check it out and give an opinion. Yeah, for sure, because I haven't seen it yet, but I'll check it out on my own time. That's fine. Okay, so we got a few more to add here to this list.
I will keep. I do think it could be nominated for visuals. Honestly, they had some really good visuals in that movie, and some pretty good scenes in that film that made me enjoy it a little bit more than I probably would have if the visuals, those scenes weren't as good.
Yeah,
but yeah,
fair enough. Okay, so let's add some more movies. Some things that we may have overlooked from our previous predictions. So. This one, I don't know how we missed it. This is an absolute, like, I have no idea how we missed this. King Richard is the movie I would like to mention.
Right? Because I still haven't seen that movie.
I don't know how we missed that. That's very interesting that we didn't mention it because Will Smith's obviously getting a lot of buzz off of that, and
he's going to be nominated for best actor.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, and the movie, I mean, go ahead and put me down for let's do a maybe on the best picture. I think I hear the movie's great, but let's do a maybe for right now on best picture.
But tally for both of us on Will Smith, right?
Absolutely. Well, depending on your prediction, which you said, tally me for Will.
I mean, I'm gonna tally myself for Will as well because I mean, just off what I've heard, the hype around Will Smith right now, it's so he's getting a lot of buzz right now.
Absolutely.
For that movie.
Absolutely. Look, man, one of the sleeper picks too, and I want to throw this down here, film wise, and this is going to be
Gucci.
Well, no, actually, this is one that, it seemed like we were talking about it a lot earlier in the year. Definitely like did a lot for the pop culture zeitgeist this year. And it's interesting because I don't know, you could nominate it as a best picture film. And it's actually a comedy special because there's not like a lot of, we don't see this often, but comedy specials do qualify for best pictures. And so this is why I do want to throw it in the running as an interesting pick, which is Bo Burnham's Inside. This seemed to be getting a lot of hype earlier in the year with the pop culture zeitgeist. And I think what it did for comedy specials and the innovation of it, I just think it's something we need to look at.
Bo Burnham's what?
Inside. And I think it's something we need to look at. For sure. Look, man, I don't know where you put this, but I don't know what song they will use. But I think we need to look at this for a best original song. I think something's going to, that might happen. So tally me for a best original song from there. I just don't know which one. That's the only problem. And give me a maybe for best picture. I'm serious. I hadn't thought about this until recently, just probably because we just don't see comedy specials get nominated too often, but I think this could be the year where
And
we actually see one.
maybe for best
I'm
picture.
gonna go with a maybe for best picture just because of the popularity of it and how much it just took over.
I mean,
This year.
it's Bill Burnham. Of course, he's gonna get hype.
Yeah, this thing just took over, and this is just one of the most innovative things I've seen. Honestly,
You're gonna make me. You're gonna. I literally went out on my phone and wrote down a list of where I can watch every single movie that I have left on the list.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. So
So
we
now I
can.
have to now I have to add King Richard, which is on HBO Max.
Is it still on there? It was on there. I don't know if it's still
I'm
on
pretty
there.
sure
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it still is.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. I can double check right now really quick, but I'm pretty sure it still is.
Great.
If I'm not mistaken, let me see. King.
I hope so. All right, he's checking on that. Yeah, I think that Bo Burnham's Inside is definitely something that we somehow overlooked, and I think it's just because it is a comedy special and it's not something we
Oh
see.
crap! It's not.
Okay.
Damn.
Well, yeah, we'll figure it out. We got a little
I mean,
bit.
the movies that I couldn't that aren't on streaming services right now, I just wrote down my Flixer because that's a website that I use.
Okay, great. Wait,
Probably shouldn't have said that out
yeah,
loud.
probably
But
shouldn't say.
no, you know what? I don't use that website. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Exactly.
Sure.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Have you ever seen that? It was a movie, Hail Caesar, is a Coen Brothers movie, and
I don't think I have.
Alden Ehrenreich is in it. The guy who plays Han Solo in the Solo Star Wars movie. Anyway, he's playing an actor, and he's like new to acting ish, but he's like trying to work with this director. And there's this really weird line he wants to say, and it's like to which it war or something like that. To with it war or something like that. It's a really odd line, and he just can't get it down. And just that scene is hysterical. Just him repeating that over and over. To with it, this is the way he keeps saying it. But anyway, sorry. Back to
and so the Bo Burnham thing's on. I just saw it's on Netflix. So.
Oh yeah, Bo Burnham's Inside on Netflix, guys. If you have not checked out Bo Burnham's Inside, wow, what a
I think that's like 16 movies now that I have to watch.
What a stunning movie. Bo Burnham's Inside is an hour if you want to knock it out, but we could knock that out together.
I was supposed to, and I was the reason why I watched Raya this past weekend is because my family was over and they wanted to watch a movie together. So we were between Encanto and Raya, and so we decided on Raya because my mom and sister had both seen Encanto, but my mom had not seen Raya, but my sister had, so we ended up watching Raya, and my dad fell asleep for more than half the movie. And when he woke up, said, "Oh my god, that was a really good movie." I was like, "Dad, you were asleep for like more than half of it. You can't give an opinion." I was like, "He never." That's the thing with my dad these days. He never stays up for movies. He's always like, but I guess the other thing too is that we're always watching movies as a family like really late, and he works, long hours, so he's never awake for movies with us. But
Adam had a really fun thing where he was like, if Hollywood wants to gauge a movie and how it's gonna do, they should put me, my dad, and my grandpa in the theater. If my grandpa falls asleep in the movie, you're probably still okay, but it's just not a masterpiece. If my dad falls asleep, it might still be good, but move forward with caution. He's like, and if I fall asleep, then it's a bad movie. So basically, his grandpa falls asleep, you're still in the green, but not a golden masterpiece. Dad falls asleep, you're in the yellow. Adam falls asleep, you're in the red. Yeah. I love that. That was one of my favorite things he ever told me.
I would honestly probably say the same thing about me, my dad, and my grandpa. I probably honestly, because if my grandpa falls asleep, then you're still it's probably a masterpiece, probably not. It depends. If my dad falls asleep, actually no, because he doesn't really watch movies like that either.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably still you're in the green ish, more maybe towards the yellow, and then if I fall asleep, then you've made a horrible move.
Aaron.
You've done.
Oh man.
So any other movies, or was that it?
Yes, I had two more. So these are really sleeper picks. So let's talk about the two Ridley Scott films that came out this year. So I'll go ahead and say this right off the bat. I don't think either of these are getting a Best Picture nominee.
Are you about to say Last Duel?
Let's start with Last Duel because, okay, first of all.
Wait, do you want me to put it on the list or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't think either of them are going to get nominated for Best Picture. But let's talk about what that last duel can get nominated for. Costume design. Throw me down. I mean, because the costume design is it's incredible. Cinematography, hit me with a tally. In all honesty, it's a very beautifully shot movie. Then you want to go. The next part of it's definitely going to be. And this might surprise some people. I want to look at the Best Supporting Actor nomination for Ben Affleck.
Oh, okay.
I think Ben Affleck might get a Best Supporting, but put it as a maybe. Did you tally me already? Can you change?
No,
it?
no. I haven't tallied you yet.
Okay, tally me for maybe as Ben Affleck as Best Supporting Actor. And then put me as a maybe for Jodie Comer as Best Actress. Because that's possible too. The next thing I would maybe say about this, the only other award I could see it getting is Best Original Screenplay.
Is it a maybe, or do you want a tally for
It's
that?
a hard maybe. Yeah. I had to think about that a second, but I think it's a hard maybe.
Maybe for best original screenplay.
So throw me down for one of those. All right.
You said for a maybe for that too, right?
Yeah. I don't know if you have any opinion on this or.
I mean, I obviously haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
I was skeptical at first, but I'll give it a watch now because it's on HBO Max. They just added it.
Oh, good. Good deal.
They just added it like a couple days ago onto HBO Max. So I'll definitely give that a watch on HBO Max.
Maybe watch that one in your own time. I don't need to see it
right away. I mean, I was trying to plan on watching some of these movies on my own time because I know we don't really get together that often.
Yeah.
But if there's any movies on this list you want to watch together, then just let me know and I'll watch it.
We should knock out Bo Burnham's Inside tonight because it's short. You know, it's not a feature length thing, so we should knock that out tonight. Honestly,
it's an hour. It says it's an hour and a half.
Is it?
I think I'm guessing
credits.
I'm guessing maybe I was gonna say probably credits is like 20 minutes long. I mean, bro. By the way, I'll just say this right now: Raya's end credits were 22 minutes long.
Holy shit!
There's no end credit scene or anything, bro.
It doesn't surprise me though.
20 minutes long.
It doesn't surprise me anymore with the productions on these things, but. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So anyway, the next one is
the next one obviously is
House of Gucci. So this is going to be the last nomination we'll talk about, possible nomination. Look, I don't think this is not a Best Picture nominee again, but what I will say,
the star power though.
What I will say is the star power might elevate this to something very cool. Again, put me down for cinematography. Tally me for costume design. I think it gets the same nominations there as for sure.
As I say, I'd agree with both of those, especially for costume design because they're trying to replicate, Gucci, the product Gucci, which is a very expensive bougie brand. Call it. You want to call it? It's a very bougie brand, very expensive, iconic, historic brand. So, I can definitely see it nominated for that.
Yeah. Look, if we were going to go off of meme status, I mean, Jared Leto would definitely make the Best Supporting Actor, but we don't judge off of that for the Academy Awards. So, but if we were looking at meme status, I mean, definitely you'd put down Jared Leto.
Bro, they should add a meme award to the Oscars.
Yeah, really, no kidding. Because Jared Leto would win that this year. I'll tell you that. Look,
was he that much of a meme in that movie?
He's just apparently, so my what I've heard from just about everybody who's seen this movie is he gives an amazing performance, but it almost feels like he's given an amazing performance for a completely different movie. Like if he was in the Mario movie, this performance would be outstanding. That's what I'm told. But it does not fit this movie, but I would not put him down for this. Look, but I will say a maybe to Lady Gaga. For Best Actress.
I heard her accent was god awful.
I don't know. I've heard just mixed things on it, but I still think
I've heard that all the Italians are roasting the hell out of her.
I don't know, man. I would say a maybe. And then same with Adam Driver, give me the maybe for Best Actor. And then thirdly, Best Supporting Actor, give me a maybe for Al Pacino.
Oof, Al Pacino, my guy.
Yeah, I mean, look at that star power, man. You can't deny
I mean,
that
I'm
dude.
I'm gonna assume that this isn't. I mean, this obviously isn't his best role. He's been in way better.
It makes me feel the same about Leo and Don't Look Up, man. It's like
Yeah,
Don't Look Up, say what you will, but the star power alone, it just might elevate it to, something new. And
we'll see.
we'll see. But I just don't think either of those are getting a Best Picture nomination. Uh,
I honestly don't, bro. With the list that we have here, I don't see them getting nominated
I
for
just
any
don't
of
think we
these.
have any room, at this point. And yeah,
That's what I mean. I don't think these two will get nominated for any of them. Honestly, we have so many. We have too many movies here. Honestly,
interesting year. Ridley Scott makes 2 movies and neither of them Best Picture nominees. So we'll see. Anyway, look, so last piece of news, we're going to talk about this really quick. And we will reiterate this on the Imperial Order podcast. By the way, guys, if you have not checked it out yet, please head over to the Imperial Order podcast on this channel. This is our brand new Star Wars podcast for the channel. It's the official Star Wars podcast of the channel. And share it with your friends and tell them that the Imperial Order podcast is the home for Star Wars content. But this is a story we'll be reiterating on that show. Ahsoka has gotten some great casting news, and we got some star power coming in, Jose. Got some star power coming into Ahsoka.
Who?
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I am so excited about her addition to this. One of my favorite actresses working today, in all honesty. Look, man, I mean, I can name so many different projects of hers. I mean, whether it be Edgar Wright's Scott Pilgrim movie. I mean, she's great as Ramona Flowers, and
she's in Sky High.
Sky High, and
Gwen Grayson.
we just saw her. We watched a movie together called Spectacular Now that she was in as the sister of Miles Teller in that film.
Oh my God! Yeah, phenomenal.
She is like top tier talent, and so I am just crazy. I can go on and on with her, but like top tier talent. Crazy about her joining
she just got nominated, or she just got added to the cast.
Yep, added to the cast of Ahsoka, man. So, I mean, what do you think? I mean, any top tier talent's good, I think.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, as much top tier talent as we can get, honestly, bring her on. I mean, I can't wait to see her, what she brings to this show.
Me either,
honestly, because she's been phenomenal in all the stuff that I've seen her in so far. Like even Sky High, and a movie as old as it is, she played a phenomenal villain and pretend good guy, good person. But yeah, no, I'm just really excited to see what character she portrays in this show. And I just saw actually that the guy who played Aladdin in the live action is going to be in Ahsoka as well.
Yeah, that's right. Mina Massoud as Ezra Bridger. So I'm so excited for him.
And Lars Mikkelsen as well.
Lars Mikkelsen. Well, these are still very much in the rumor mill, though. But
right.
Well, it's essentially confirmed with these two. But yeah, I'm very excited for the addition of Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn and Mina Massoud as Ezra Bridger. I think that those
we got obviously Natasha Bordizzo as Sabine.
Sabine. That is confirmed. That one is absolutely confirmed, and so I'm very excited about that one. So,
and Hayden Christensen is
absolutely confirmed as well. So it's shaping up to be a great project, man. And obviously, 100%. We'll go more in depth on this one. This will probably be the big headline of Imperial Order next week. With this Mary Elizabeth Winstead casting, it's just such big news and something to celebrate for sure. I love seeing talent like this make it into Star Wars at any point in time. Doesn't matter what show, and I hope she's a character that we can all attach ourselves to and want to see more of, because I do love Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
I'm just trying to think what character she could play in that show.
Yeah, we'll see, man. It'll be very, very interesting to see what she does, but
it's going to be a very out there cast for sure.
Yeah, I'm loving it though. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I've said before, I like when companies and studios kind of go for out there casts. Yeah. That's why I enjoyed Shang-Chi so much, and
yeah.
I know, contrary to most, I know in the minority, is why I enjoyed Eternal so much too, is because
I just rewatched that, by the way. Oh, so good,
dude. On Disney, yeah, I watched it again on Disney Plus with IMAX enhanced.
Good.
Oh my goodness, bro! I mean, I know, contrary to most, it's not a very, very liked movie, but I thoroughly enjoyed that movie because they used such a out there cast, such a different cast.
I agree.
People we've never seen before play in Marvel movies. Same thing with Shang-Chi. So yeah, I just like when companies and studios kind of take risks, you know, and use, you know, people we haven't seen before in specific things.
Yeah.
Like we've seen them before in different roles, but when they, you know, play specific ones that they haven't done before, it's really nice to see them in those kind of roles and see the studios take. That's what I like to see. That's why I want, you know, I want Marvel and Star Wars to keep doing that, because, you know, if we just keep getting the same people and the same stuff, it's kind of just boring.
I agree.
And I don't want to get to Marvel movie number 40 and we're still using the same people, you know.
Right.
I want to see some new fresh stuff. So
absolutely,
you know, more power to Star Wars for doing that, and for, you know, having her confirmed in the casting list. I'm excited to see what she brings. So yeah,
man. Well, good stuff, dude. That'll wrap up this episode today. Look, guys, Imperial Order podcast, like I said, please go check it out. It's also on Spotify, so follow us over there. We're also going to be doing some rewatches of some classics. Jose, what's the first one coming up here that we're doing? The rewatch series that we're going to start doing on Movie Mornings. The answer is Jaws. The answer is Jaws. We have a rewatch of Jaws coming out.
Forgot.
Yeah. Thank you for participating. But yeah, so
sorry, I totally forgot that I thought you were talking about like another, like a new one that we were gonna do, but I forgot. Yeah, we did Jaws.
Yeah, so Jaws is coming. Poster right behind me, represent. But Jaws we did do a rewatch of, and I'm excited to air that. That'll be coming out sometime this week as well. And we're gonna be doing some classic Spielberg movies to celebrate this upcoming Academy Awards. I mean, Spielberg's West Side Story is a massive major contender coming out. So, you know, we're going to be doing some Spielberg. I'm excited. We're going to probably do Jaws. I think we decided on Jaws, Close Encounters, E.T., and Jurassic Park, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe we even throw Hook in there too. I'm not sure, but we'll take a look and see. But yeah, guys, look, it's been fun. It's been great. Another episode of Movie Mornings in the books. And Jose, before we go, where can people find you?
You know, you can find me on all socials at Type 1 Latino, all lowercase, all together.
Sweet. And you can find me on Twitter at Dom_Martino_. On Instagram, Dom_Martino_ official. And you please follow the Anorex pages on Twitter and Instagram at Anorex official across both platforms. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, and hit the bell for notifications. This has been another episode of Movie Mornings, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.
See you.